Hey there, folks, it's flea market time. We're headed back up to the Stormville flea market today. It's about a 50-minute drive from my house, so I got out of bed way too early. It is just about 7:45 in the morning, so I left well before 6. I think I got up at 6:30. It was my alarm. Now, this is a little bit different. They have I think it's from April through October, they have the flea market, but this is a little bit different. And there's off in the distance, they're just setting up. I'm here early. They don't have, they sometimes have an inflatable thing there. This is they do this twice a year. I think they do it again in September. They call it the ultimate yard sale, and basically they just invite regular folks. Their regular flea market is for dealers. You need a reseller certificate to set up. Here, just anybody can come, and instead of having a garage sale at their house, they just lug their junk up, and they get a space, and they you have to pay for it, and basically it's a whole bunch of yard sales. So it's sometimes a little bit a little bit more catch as catch can, but you can get some good stuff, because sometimes you have folks who, we found this in the garage, let's get some stuff out here. So I'm going to be hunting for comic books, of course, and we'll see what we can pick up. So we'll be back and we'll take a little bit of a walkthrough, and we will then hopefully find some comic books, and wish me luck. We'll take a look up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Even though I got here early, you can kind of see that there's a good number of cars in the parking lot. There are people who get here like crack of dawn. I think there might be maybe the folks at the Winnebago set up they were here last night. They get here very early, and find some good stuff. So we're gonna see what we can get. Just gonna scope around, and it's a little bit different setup than usual. Hello, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Please like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. Also, check out the description of this video to follow us on other socials, Instagram, whatnot. There's a link to my eBay store. There's also my email there. Ways to reach out to me. So, I went to the flea market. I walked around. It was slow at first. And as I said, this was the ultimate yard sale, so it's a little bit different. There aren't as many vendors. It's more folks just setting up with, like, as I said, rather than just have a garage sale in front of their house, much bigger audience here. And so I took a little bit of a look around.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with her and come back then. Dad, why don't you look at the cards? Yeah, I'm gonna do. Dad, look at the cards and I'll go over here. Dad, look at the cards. Thank you. And what year was this? Is that year out? 12 years ago, what you've done. See, I have about that.
It's retail for like 65.
I still saw some of the comic book vendors that I often see there. So there's some resellers as well as just folks trying to clean out their garages and basements and stuff. So first guy I picked up, he had a bunch of different books. So we got some different stuff. I got this Dark Hawk number 25. That's the first appearance of somebody. It's got foil cover. This one, Superman number 4. I was hot and heavy on this book. I did very well when the movie came out. Idris Elba playing Bloodsport, but this also, it's a newsstand. So that's going to go in a spec pile. Nice Son of Satan, number 5, pretty nice shape. And then I got a couple, or two Wolverine, non-keys, but both 90s newsstands. So that's pretty cool. And then I got a couple. Is it 2 in here? I think it's 2 of the same. Yeah. And I got to see. To see if these are upgrades. I think I needed number 11 from the PC, but not number 10, but 2 issues of Mr. Miracle. Both while Jack Kirby was still doing the book. I bundled a lot of this together. Gen 13, number 12. This classic J. Scott, Michael Turner cover, right? That's Michael Turner. No, J. Scott Campbell. I actually just took that out of my press the other day. And then the next guy I went to, unfortunately, including these, it was harder to tell on some of these, but all his books had moisture damage, like every single one. Maybe that's why they were so cheap. I figured I'd pick this up. This is Radioactive Man number 88, which is actually the second issue in the series. What they did with Radioactive Man, they came out with subsequent issues as though they were going through comic book history. So I guess the first one would have come out, let's say, in the early 1960s, and this would have come out in 66. Something crazy like that. And this is also a newsstand. But, again, lower grade, kind of disappointing. Simpsons #2 newsstand, but water damage, which isn't as evident, you know, in just looking at it through the plastic. Omega the Unknown, #1. Nice Marvel Bronze Age book. And then Treehouse of Horror. Does have a crease in it, too. So another lower grade book. Also newsstand. Treehouse of Horror books do have a little bit of a premium when they're in nice shape. Now, the next guy I went to, he had some good books. He was fairly priced, but this one, and I think I might submit this. Prelude to Deadpool Core #3. This is the first appearance of Dogpool. And we know Dogpool is coming to the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Picked up a bunch of books from him. I picked up... This book made the list a while ago when they reintroduced this character in Marvel, Saga the Crystar, the Crystal Warrior. This is like a deluxe book. See, it's a $2 price tag, the original price, from back in the early 80s. Incredible Hulk 377 second print. Not as nearly as valuable as the third print. Captain America 286 newsstand, this classic Deathlock cover, and I picked up 2 copies of it. Neither of these is submittable, so it's fine. And then this one is a PC book. It's got a really, I think it has an extra staple. It's kind of rough. It's like a 3, but it's Action Comics 260, book from the 1950s, $10 price tag, sure. Didn't have it in the run. This nice, except for this 1-cent piece of masking tape on the side. Girls Love Stories #160. Some Silver Age romance. This is an interesting book, and this is in pretty decent shape. This is Submariner 57, which is the first appearance since the golden age of Venus. Venus was also included in the Agents of Atlas, which got its... really their first appearances in What If, I believe it's What If #10. So Venus was one of the Atlas characters, along with, like Marvel Boy and so on, when the company that now is known as Marvel Comics was Atlas after they were Timely. So John from Bronze and Modern Gods will appreciate the Venus significance of this book, and it's a fairly decent shape. So that is cool. That's a nice cover, too. I think, did Bill ever do that cover? Yeah, that's really, really cool cover. Venus actually did have a reprint story appear in the backup of Marvel Spotlight 2, which is the first Werewolf by Night, oddly. Just kind of an odd amalgam of things. Transformers #8, first Dinobots. Does have a little bit of a problem up there. Web of Spider-Man 15. This is the first appearance of Eddie Brock, pre-Venom. Is that the one where it's... I think that's the one where it's retconned. This is, I think, an underappreciated book. Todd McFarlane did some Marvel Tales, which were reprint books. And he did some of the covers around this time. And this is a McFarlane cover. It's a newsstand with Dazzler. I think this is a reprint of a Marvel team-up. There's an X-Men, and there's some others from this Marvel Tales run. So not high enough grade. This is like, if it were a candidate, definitely worth getting graded. So I think a little underappreciated, to be honest. This, I picked up another one with $10 price tag. Solid mid-grade of Brave and the Bold 86. Not only is it Neil Adams cover, Batman and Deadman, but Neil Adams interior art. Centerfold is detached, and you do have this, I don't know if that's grease pencil. If it is, that can come off, but I got to see. I do have one. I think this might be better than the one I have on my PC. I might keep that one. I picked this up, newsstand copy of Adventures of Superman 424. This is the premiere issue. A little comic book history for those of you that are unfamiliar. After Crisis, DC rebooted Superman. And John Byrne came over from Marvel and did the Man of Steel miniseries, in which he kind of rebooted the mythology of Superman, making like his Kryptonian parents closer in image to the Richard Donner films. But at any rate, I think because of Byrne's hubris, he started doing the writing and artwork on the main Superman title, which was entitled Superman. It was Superman Volume 2, started with number 1, and that meant that the Superman title that had been running at this point for, this is January of 87, but been running for 48 years, became Adventures of Superman, as kind of an homage to the TV series of the 1950s. And it's by Jerry Ordway and Marv Wolfman. Now, the significance of this is the first appearance of Cat Grant, who is going to be in the Superman film. So, that does have significance. What else do we got? Nice copy. Might be an upgrade in PC of Demon 5. It's a good solid. I think it's about a 7. 657. Nice. There are actually 2 copies. I pulled one and then I put them back. 2 copies of Swamp Thing 33. This homage cover to House of Secrets 92. Amazing Spider-Man 294 newsstand, part of Craven's Last Hunt. It wasn't even the guy that had all the waterlogged books, but the first vendor I went to, I pulled a 293. And I did see it had some staining on it, but I'm like, it was newsstand. It's still, but there was some black mold on the back, so that is going into the garbage. But this is better. I mean, it's not high grade, but still that Craven's Last Hunt storyline. And then I picked up 2 copies, and I think these might be submittable. That one's upside down.
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian, number 241. Cover by Todd McFarlane, newsstand. This is a pricey book. I picked one up at the Meadowlands flea market like last year that's still in my clean and press boxes. This is going into my potentially, this is my clean and press box. Both of these. One is nice in that they both have defects, but I think most of the defects are potentially pressable. Now, if I'm fortunate enough, and it might be a little bit of a stretch, 9/8 of this book in a newsstand are over $600. So it does still have value in 9/6. Then I went to the next vendor, and he had like books for $4 each. So I was a little more discriminating. Probably should have been. Blue Devil number 1, not his first appearance. I don't know if I have this in the PC. I didn't even check that. Just kind of grabbed that. Dazzler number 32. One of these great Bill Sienkiewicz covers. And then the book, and it was actually a surprise to me, but I noticed there was no backer board. And I'll just give you a little preview. This is Excalibur. This is a weird one. This is Excalibur Special Edition. This is the first appearance of Excalibur. This predates Excalibur number 1. And there's no number on it, but there's also no price on it. Because, sorry about that. And this is what caught my eye. I probably would have bypassed it, especially paying $4 for it. It's got a couple spine ticks, so not a 9/8, but it's kind of, since it's square bound, you don't see this every day. Newsstand of this. The newsstand, there are 3 printings plus the newsstand. The newsstand has no price on it. Oddly, I don't know how they sold it on newsstands without a price. Maybe there's a price in the interior or the back, but I don't think so. I just had to go by the scan. Very strange. Then I picked up, somebody had some dollar books. I wanted to get 5 just to, avoid singles. Conan 250 anniversary issue. Nothing huge here. Archie Giant, what number is that? 216. Pretty nice shape, like a fine-ish. Just a Green Lantern in decent shape, 141. I don't know if I need that for the PC. Blue Devil Annual number 1. A little bit dirty. This is actually kind of considered one of the Justice League Dark prototypes because you can see you got Man-Bat, Creeper, Demon, Black Orchid, and Phantom Stranger on there. And I'm not exactly sure who that is next to Phantom Stranger. Should know that. And then I picked up this. I needed a 5th book. I picked up this Warlord 57. I've been looking for Warlord 55 because it's the first appearance of Arian. But I'm trying to complete the Arian series. Maybe I'll complete the Warlord backups. At this point in my life, I don't have a desire to complete the Warlord series because it's incredibly lengthy. Then I went dollar book, Spider-Man Unlimited. I'm sorry, $20.99 Unlimited. First, Hulk $20.99. This I think was a decent pickup for $1. A little bit lower grade, mid grade. Batman 408. First, or the rebooted appearance of Jason Todd after Crisis. Then 2 Turtles books from the original run, 20 and 21. 20 is a classic battle with somebody in Shredder. I'm not really a Turtles guy. This is a little bit lower grade. I probably should have passed on it. Captain Marvel 57. This is another Submariner I picked up, 51. In pretty decent shape. It's probably like a 6-7 range. Not bad. Defenders 27. Lower to mid-grade. This is the first appearance of Starhawk. I picked this book up a lot. I've gotten it recently. Starhawk. Sylvester Stallone played Starhawk in the Guardians of the Galaxy films. Batman 371. Let's grab that. Then they had the $1 Daredevils, so I picked up 143, 44, and 45. Unfortunately, I think it's 43 as a pop staple. But not bad Daredevil books. Next vendor, I think it was actually the same vendor. Those for $3, and everything else, I think it was $2 books. Icon #1. It does include all the extras. It's been removed from the polybag, but has the extras. This has some mortar damage to it that actually could probably benefit from a press, but I don't know if that really pays for me. Frankenstein 14. Star Trek #1. This is the DC version. This is circa Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. You can tell by the uniforms they're wearing. And it's a newsstand. Now, this book does command over $100 in a 9/8 newsstand. I don't think so much in a direct. Fantastic Four 245. The first appearance of Franklin Richards as Avatar, as an adult. So that's not a bad book. That's probably going to go in a spec pile. Deathlock #1. His second series. And then a couple of issues. I think there were 2 of the same. Not the same issue, but same series. Of PC's Bernie Wrightson's Master of the Macabre. One thing that's interesting about #3 here. It's, I guess, #3. Is, I'll show you in a second. Yep. Just slide the back board up. There we go. There is the back cover of Bernie Wrightson, Master of the Macabre #3. Soon! Science fiction stories of the future today. That Dave Stevens cover. Unfortunately, no Dave Stevens covers were in the boxes. Madhouse 63. Reggie and Me 35. This is in pretty decent shape. Then I guess the last dealer I stopped at was my buddy Warren, Card Comics. And he has some good books. These are a little bit lower grade. Detective Comics. This is missing the centerfold. But I think I'll just keep this one. It's $2.82. The centerfold interrupts the Roy Raymond story. And the third story in here is a John Jones story. One of the things that's kind of, like, as I look back, and I think this is, was a big difference in the early Silver Age between Marvel and DC, is Marvel very quickly pivoted to full-length stories. DC did very little of that. Almost every book, including, Batman and Superman, where it was just them, there were no backup features, had 3 stories, 3 very brief stories. It was very unusual. Probably not until, on any regularity, not until the Justice League came along. And the Justice League was in chapters anyway, but you got one cohesive story. Superboy Giant in nice shape. Reprinting the first appearance of Mon-El. A nice copy of Doom Patrol 102. Early appearance of Beast Boy. This I'm keeping, I believe. I don't think I have this. Super DC Giant, number 16. Reprints some classic Brave and the Bold. The best of the Brave and the Bold. Another nice Superboy 126. He's lifting a jalopy with some kids in it. Silly cover. This Batman 147. This does have a coupon clipped and part of the back cover is missing. It is a poor copy, but it was $5. And I got to, I bundle everything together. And 150 does have some mortar damage. And then I picked up this Charlton Romance book. And then I think the final books, yeah, these are all, I'll just show these together. These I got for, less than $1 each. Some Batman and Robin Adventures. And then some Batman Adventures. So, I figure those are pretty cool books to have. None of the big issues, none of the Joker covers or Harley covers. So, but just some good books to have. So that is the Stormville haul. I think the only 3 books I think I'm going to attempt to clean press and submit are the Deadpool Corps, the first Dogpool, and I'm going to put that at the head of the list because I may be sending out a submission this week, which we got a month until the movie comes out. See if that comes back, and then the 2 Conan McFarlane covers. I think I'll send those out as well. They do definitely need pressing, so that'll be a little bit of a pressing job, but high grain newsstands of that are quite valuable. So that was it for the flea market today. It was a beautiful day. Got out and ran around, and then I had a very hectic afternoon, and I'm tired tonight. So anyway, that's it for today. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and taking a look at the books that I picked up. Let me know what you think of them. This is you can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.